What's up, movie nerds and basketball geeks? Welcome back to MovieBall. I guess I should come up with a joke now, because this is the Joker. That's not funny! Be better at comedy! Learn humor! Yes, it's about that time for me to review one of the most controversial movies in recent memory, the standalone Joker film. How do I begin this review? I liked the Joker. It's going to offend people if I like the movie, it's going to offend people if I didn't like the movie, and much like the Joker himself, I just don't believe in any of that shit. This is my take, and you're more than welcome to listen to my review and hear my thoughts on it, but if you have dug yourself a hole and completely convinced yourself that you will never like the film and you can't bother listening to anyone that does like the film, just scurry along, because you're just going to waste your time. I was never as hyped for this movie as a lot of other people seemed to be. Sure, I highly enjoy the Joker as an iconic villain, but when it comes to the DCEU, they have a pretty hit or miss track record. It's a confusing hodgepodge of the films that they have. You never really know what you're going to get. And when I dislike a Marvel movie, an MCU film, I'm usually surprised by this point with their track record. But when it comes to DC, I kind of expect not to like it at this point. But they stated over and over and over again that this was not going to be a part of the DCEU. It's in no universe. It's a standalone film. It's its own thing. And I was like, Then they bring Joaquin Phoenix on, one of the best actors in the world right now. And I was starting to get intrigued. Then Todd Phillips signs on. And I was like, the director of one of the greatest comedies of all time in The Hangover is helming the standalone origin Joker film. Sign me up. But I knew he also had some good dramatic chops. If you've ever seen the film War Dogs, really solid, great film. You should definitely seek that out. Jonah Hill, Miles Teller, good cast. It's a great film. Check it out. Then the reviews started to flood in about a month ago. And it was nothing but praise for this film. We're talking, people are saying film of the year, film of the decade, one of the best films of all time. I don't know if anyone said that. I'm just trying to naturally progress to the next craziest thing, just to make it seem more dramatic. But people are saying film of the decade. They're saying Joaquin Phoenix gives an insane performance that is must see. And it looks like it's going to be an Oscar contender in virtually every category this year. So, after all that, naturally, my hype, it's starting to build up a little bit. I'm getting pretty excited. But then days within the release, I'm talking not even a week ago, I look at Rotten Tomatoes and I see the tomato meter dipped all the way to 70%, which is good. I mean, that's a good score. But, with all the praise this movie was getting, and the last time I checked, it was at 90%, which I didn't check for a long time. But with all that praise and all the things people are saying, I'm like, that's interesting. All the way down to 70, teetering on at the 60s, that's close to rotten almost. And I was just, Then the people I talked to, people I knew that saw the film, none of them liked it. They all said it was disappointing. Joaquin Phoenix is good, but it's kind of pretentious and it doesn't really do anything new. And I'm like, So that all happened, and then all of the batshit controversy that came along with it. Basic summary of the plotline: in the 1980s, Arthur Fleck is doing his best to be happy and make something out of his life, but when the world continuously beats him down and makes things hard for him, we witness the origin tale of the iconic madman, Joker. Joaquin Phoenix is masterful. He's undeniably good. He sinks his teeth into this role and never lets go. And what the movie wants to do is to get you to feel bad for him and understand why everything that's happening to him drives him to becoming the Joker. And the film succeeds. And that's why I feel like a lot of people, not everyone, but a good portion of the film goers that saw this film didn't like it. Because they didn't like what they were feeling. Partially enjoying the Joker's eventual revenge and his psychopathic behavior makes people feel a little sick inside, especially the way it's depicted in this film. But a rational thinking person knows that you don't resort to this kind of route. This is not what you do. This is absolutely not the way you handle your problems. We know that. But audiences don't want to feel like their past behavior and the way they've treated others in the past, if that's just ignoring someone even, or just simply not being overly friendly to someone, could possibly create the rise of a mass murderer. With all of the devastating shootings in the news that seem to happen every other week, I totally understand the sensitivity and uncomfortableness that this film gets you to feel. But in no way is anyone siding with the Joker or agreeing with what he's doing. No one likes his actions. Everyone knows that's not the way to solve your problems with violence or anything like that. But at the end of the day, you can still sympathize with a character that has been treated so poorly all of his life. As he starts to go down this dark path, you want him to pull away from it. You don't want it to happen because you feel bad for this character. Joaquin Phoenix does such a great job getting you to feel sorry for him, and there's some good deep down in there left inside after everything that's happened. You're just like, please, just don't go down this road. It's not the right route. But a part of you does, because he's the fucking Joker and you want to see the Joker be the Joker. I mean, that's what this movie is all about, essentially, right? It's the origin tale of the Joker. And I think it upsets a lot of people because it's done in a very realistic fashion. It seems, it's not necessarily a comic book film. It doesn't really feel that way. It just feels like the rise of a madman, and that's what's scary about it. And I think that's where all that uncomfortableness stems from, because the way it's portrayed is very authentic. Looking back, I can't really think of a single scene or point of view that isn't from Arthur Fleck or AKA the Joker. It's just, the movie relies so heavily on its title character, as it should. Joaquin Phoenix knocks it out of the park. He's mesmerizing. Robert De Niro is also pretty great in his scenes that he has, but it's hard to really say the rest of the cast does a good job because Joaquin Phoenix commands the screen at every moment and he's so necessary to this film. This is a bit of a slow burn movie, one that could take some time to build up, but once it does and it gets going, it pays off well. And, even when it's in its slower moments, Joaquin Phoenix just does a great job with his performance that you're locked in and you're just anxiously awaiting what's going to happen next. There's a lot of good twists peppered throughout this story, and I don't know if I would exactly call them twists, but just things that you didn't really expect to happen, and then it happens another way. I guess that's a twist. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, but it keeps your interest, it spikes your interest, and it really gets you, like I said, even those slower moments, it gets you to be like, oh shit, damn. As far as flaws, I don't necessarily have much. I liked this movie a lot, but I didn't love it, and I guess that's kind of a flaw in the sense that I just wish that it would have hit harder. Also, I see a lot of people's problem with it is that it doesn't really do anything different with its character study, and I agree. It kind of imitates old philosophies and ideas about, a downtrodden guy that turns on the world because the world turned on him. It doesn't really feel fresh or groundbreaking in that respect. However, it does raise a lot of great questions about a lot of things, about society, about mental health, about how do we prevent these kinds of situations, how do we feel, just all of these things. And I just think that's great. If a movie can really inspire a discussion like that, that's just special. This movie isn't for everyone, clearly, but it's also not for the traditional comic book fan that wants explosions and a lot of action, because there's practically none of that here. This is a slow burn that examines the decline of a mentally ill person while also giving us our first theatrical look at the origin of the Joker. Anchored by an electrifying Oscar-caliber performance from Joaquin Phoenix, filled with visual flair, and showing us the foundation of one of cinema's most widely recognized villains, the Joker will become a staple in cinematic history. It stands out in a sea of superhero adaptations because it doesn't necessarily feel like a comic book film, and I think that's what makes people so uncomfortable and disturbed. I'm going to give the Joker an 8 out of 10. I really liked this movie. I would love to see it get a crossover with Batman or a sequel of some sort, but that's not going to happen. As always, smash that like button super goddamn hard. Smash Burger, that's a fast food chain with smash in the title of its name. I don't know, I'm running out of ideas here. I just need you to smash the like button. If you just smash the like button, then I wouldn't need to keep saying this and I wouldn't have to run out of ideas. Just smash. Is anyone else hot? My sweatshirt, it's just no one else. I'm the only one in this room, so I don't know why I'm asking, but I need to take my sweatshirt off. I'm sweating.